Hello, my name is Richard Andres, and I just witnessed hearing the story of Chi Wan Choi. It's told here at the studio lots here in Santa Monica. And as I began to listen to this, I couldn't hear the inner critic come out and become as part of a reading group, which I'm so familiar with. But at the same time, how much of it does it really count when something like this is being organized and there's a participatory level involved that is part communal as well. And there's also a lot of alcohol. So that's a big changer there. But I'm not here to try to criticize the story that I just heard. So I'm trying to figure out exactly my perspective of what it is that I'm trying to say here by thinking out loud. And very much of it is just based on just a free flow way of thinking, not knowing exactly what's going on here. But excuse me. But as an art form, I can appreciate this for what it was. I stood. More so, I sat trying to listen. And as an individual who can't really listen to anything in long-term, anything of a distance of 20 minutes or so, I was only able to really catch parts here and there, hit or miss, just because my attention level isn't grounded to the level of a writing group reader, but more so of patches of poetry that I hear here and there Chi Wan saying, and I caught it and it stuck. So my memory isn't the best. I tend to forget almost everything that is told to me, and that's just personally me. That's not the storyteller. It's just the inability of myself to be able to remember anything really. And with this in mind, this is also trying to say that the only fragments I do remember now, after just hearing about this, is the name Rebecca, and I couldn't help but think that this was an autobiography in the sense that we were seeing the life of Chi Wan within what wasn't recognized, but was recognized to some degree through social media, especially Facebook. So, as a person who's here a lot, and with a lot of other people here, including, there's almost 120 people here tonight. There's a typewriter, and there's Amanda as well, hearing these stories. How then do we begin to discuss the story as to, because the prompt was just, the prompt itself was explained, but it doesn't really mean what was possible as to what could possibly be discussed. So because of this, there were so many things that could have gone here and there. There were so many different things that could have been mentioned, and I'm just mentioning one part about just mentioning different parts of different things that I noticed about myself and in my hearing, and the art of the hearing, and the art of the self, and art. It very much was in an involved process of hearing, because because this was not the traditional sense of a writing group, that it was kind of taking that context into a new context, putting it into the studio, and involving it to some degree in part being with a participatory level that I still think is really crucial and essential, because it's building something on top of something, and it's very true that it's like a negative copy of the actual document versus the physical document that was just read. As to the communal aspect, I think the one part that really could benefit for everyone here is trying to bridge two random strangers together versus just the medium itself versus such as the iPad and the typewriter and the artist herself. So what's really I think essential or helpful here is to bring the strangers together between a certain similarity to open a dialogue, a conversation between multiple people at once versus just it being singular in a line. And personally, this is just me as an art form. I think it really adds value that there is a participatory communal level to this level. But after this event, I don't think nobody will continue to discuss this to an extent to what is happening here and what is trying to be said here, because it's just really like what it is that matters is what is the goal of the aspect of it being communal? What is trying to be represented? What is trying to be done here? And for what is it part of? Is it, of course, it's going to be part of a book, but what outside of the book? What aspirations do you have for the community versus just using them as a tool to create the negative copy? To say that this is very much not to say that the community is being used as part of an extension to create the book or as the author themselves, but more so as evidence that this actually did take place. I'm not sure, I think I confused myself a little bit, but for now, this is part one. Usually I just write these things out, but this is a unique aspect to just give you a complete, thorough investigation as to what I have so far and what I think it is so far. Just because I'm not an individual that tends to do something like this involuntarily, but you can always blame the Jews for this. So. Thank you, Chuan. Thank you, Amanda, for doing this, for doing something very grateful like this. And it continues to grow as the months go on and as everything happens, so that a lot takes place and a lot of magic begins to happen here. Thank you. Sorry for ranting so much. I mean, I still have to write it out, but sorry. This is just free flow, free form stream of consciousness. But thank you so much again. All right, I'll see you guys. Thank you.